Week number 1 of the 2016 high school football season. Stephen Grace, Jason Miller here as we break things down with our game capsule. West Liberty, week number 1. New schedule, new district, new a little bit of everything, and a lot of new faces on this Bear lineup as well, Jason.
But it is the same West Liberty, West Branch game at the beginning of the season, like, well, many of us love. But you're right, it's a news team. I got 15 or 16 new faces total, counting both sides of the football. Gone are many positions. But the thing that the Bears do return is, where do you start? You're an old offensive lineman. I bring this up many times in these capsules, but you're an offensive lineman, and that's where it all starts. They don't get their name in the paper, but if you're pretty strong up front, you can do some damage. And the Bears return an all-stater in Jacob Barnhart, all-district player in Cole Tysinger, and an all-district center in John Crawl, and they bring in Austin. I thought it said Austin. That's his brother, Andrew Black at right guard, and sophomore Drake Bloom to fill the right tackle spot. They're big. I think 215, 220 is the smallest guy. Other than that, they're 240 and up. Not many teams are going to be able to push them around.
Well, and that's where, you look through the years, that's where we've had success with our program, is when we have those big burly lines, we can really open things up. But the thing that's different about these guys is not only are they big, they're athletic though too. I mean, they can get in the pass game, they can get out down the field in that zone scheme, they can do a lot of different things.
Yeah, Tysinger loves it when he gets his hand on the ball. You saw it last year.
He was in.
Big fella rumbling, said Stephen Grace. He was in, but I guess the officials didn't want a big guy to get his glory, But those guys are going to do the damage at the point of contact. There's this guy behind them named Luke Lennox. I think this is his 7th year of eligibility, probably 4th. But and there aren't many 1A schools or many schools, period, that can say they have a better running back than Luke Lennox. And the Bears, West Branch is blessed to have that. With those guys and Luke, you should be able to do some damage. But they're going to want to throw the football too. Bo Cornwell or Brandon Rummelhart with a new stable of receivers. Cooper Cobble's back, which that's pretty good because you basically just throw it in his vicinity, and his big old size 28 hands or whatever sizes he's not going to drop the football. But new guys like Ben Thompson and freshman Tanner Lukowski and Jacob Graves, Cheesy, are going to be the guys filling the spots that have been left open by Barnes and Schwaver and Wargo. But Butch is excited about the way the defense played the other night in the scrimmage. Steven, he said that the first slight down the field, got to get out there and get rid of the nerves, but after that they settled in and they did a good job. But they're going to be going against a very, very quick West Liberty football team.
Well, yeah, and you look, a lot of people maybe looking at past results. West Liberty, they won one game last year. They winless the year before. It's a program that's been struggling, but Coach Iskey down there, he's doing some things. He's trying to change it up, and yeah, you get some of that quickness, that speed, and that can negate some of the size, and really it's going to cause that defense to have to play assignment football like Coach Peterson always talks about, and really read their keys to know what they need to do.
Agreed. And the one thing that's kind of misleading about that record is, their varsity squad has won a game the last 2 years. Their junior class that's moving up right now beat our junior class by about 50 points in 8th grade. Their soft football team has beat West Branch the last 2 years. So they have experience, not at the varsity level, but the feeders programs, so to speak, have had some success against West Branch, and they can build some confidence. And you mentioned Coach Iskey, his nephew, Tanner Iskey, number 1 in the program. Kid is going to be one of the fastest kids on the field that we see all year. We go from him, and we'll see the Trousdale kid in the second week, but we'll get there. You got new quarterback in Joe Baker. Joe Smith, I think, is going to be another guy to look out for. Tight end, Feldman kid, is going to be really tall and lanky, but that kid's also 11 second, sub 11 second, 100 guy. Yeah. They've got speed, and then the guy that they're going to be anchored. We talked about this before we got on air by Bryce Esmo, who his freshman year was a varsity lineman. Last year was kind of that tweener, we call him an H-back, Stephen, fullback, blocking tight end, never really go out for passes, but he's a hammer in wrestling, and now he's going to be a hammer in the anchor on their line next to Spencer Daufeld, a sophomore. That's a pretty good, strong size offensive line. They're going to be good.
Yeah, and anytime you've got West Branch, West Liberty, obviously the results didn't show it, but this is a rivalry game. Everybody's going to get up for it. You look at some of the games throughout history, and a lot of the greenbacks that have been passed back and forth between the two towns and whatnot, but it's a great opportunity for these kids to come out, really open things up, and it's a non-district game. Not that you don't want to win, but if something were to happen, it's not going to necessarily hurt you as much. You really want to use these first 2 weeks as a way to see where you're at and really develop as a team so that when you get to week 3 in district play, you're really hitting on all cylinders.
Hopefully you gain some perspective and some experience in game 1. Then that old adage of you make the biggest jump in experience and just in development between week 1 and week 2. So as we're going into week 1, I just go back to what you just said, the West Liberty West Branch game. It's just a great rivalry. Outside of that 4-year hiatus a few years ago, it's been going on since probably the 1930s. We've got footage from a game in the 40s, so at the old West Liberty Raceway, Speedway. Please drive safely, Jerry Mackey. But it's just a game. You throw it out, and it's a great game. So many family members, so many good friends and friendships have been built between the schools. And the schools are happy when they're on the extra schedule because the gate, there's a lot of people are going to come to that game, not just the West Branch, West Liberty folk, but people around. They got another matter to do. They'll come out to that game because it's just one of those rivalries, Stephen.
Well, it's a little different this year. We do have Fresh Soft ahead of us, so the Bearcast, 7 o'clock pregame, kickoff scheduled for about 7:30. So make plans to head on down to West Liberty. If you can't make it, tune in at westbranchfootball.com. We'll have the Bearcast for you as well. We're looking forward to week 1 here and another great season for the Bears.